Once upon a time in the ancient city of Balkh, there lived a man named Abu Yazid. He was a poor man who worked hard as a tailor to provide for his wife and young son. His son, little Kasim, was a sweet and innocent boy with a heart full of love for his parents. However, it was during these tough times that little Kasim learned the true meaning of sacrifice and devotion. One evening, after finishing his day's work, Abu Yazid came home exhausted. As he walked through the door, he noticed a worried expression on his wife's face. "What's wrong, my love?" he asked, sensing her distress. "We're out of food and our little Kasim is going to bed hungry tonight," she replied, her voice trembling. Overwhelmed with guilt and sadness, Abu Yazid hugged his wife. "I'm sorry, my dear. I will fix it tomorrow," he promised. He then went to their son's bedside, where he found Kasim sleeping peacefully. Gently, he picked up his son and whispered, "Kasim, my son, I want to ask you something." Kasim stirred in his sleep and mumbled, "Yes, father." "Would you give your life for me?" Abu Yazid asked, his voice thick with emotion. Without hesitation, Kasim replied, "Yes, 1,000 times, yes, father." Hearing his son's selfless response, Abu Yazid felt a surge of love and pride. He carried Kasim back to his bed and laid him down. As he tucked his son in, he couldn't help but think about his earlier question. How far would his son be willing to go for him? Determined to find out, he decided to put Kasim's devotion to the ultimate test. In the dead of the night, when everyone was fast asleep, Abu Yazid crept into his son's room. He gently shook Kasim awake and whispered, "Get up, Kasim. I need your help." Confused and sleepy, Kasim rubbed his eyes and asked, "What is it, father?" "I need you to bring me some water. Our pots are empty and we don't have any food or drinks left," Abu Yazid said, trying to keep his voice low. Kasim didn't hesitate for a moment. He jumped out of bed, put on his clothes and followed his father outside. Together they walked towards the river, the only source of water in their parched village. The night was dark and the journey seemed endless to little Kasim, but he didn't complain. When they finally reached the river, Abu Yazid handed Kasim an old clay cup and said, "Go fetch me some water, my son." Kasim nodded and dipped the cup into the river. As he lifted it to his lips for a drink, his father stopped him. "No, Kasim, this water is for me. You must take it back home and give it to your mother. She needs it more than I do." Kasim looked at his father in disbelief. "But why? You're the one who asked for the water," he said, puzzled. Abu Yazid forced a smile and said, "It's all part of a test, my son, and you are passing with flying colors. Take the water home and make sure your mother drinks it before sunrise. Then come back and I will give you a reward." Kasim knew better than to question his father's intentions, so he turned around and headed back home. Meanwhile, back at the house, Kasim's mother, Amina, was tossing and turning in her bed, unable to sleep. She, too, was taking part in this test of devotion. Ever since her husband had left for work that morning, she hadn't eaten or drunk anything. Every time she felt a pang of hunger or thirst, she remembered her husband's words. "Do not eat or drink until your husband returns." Determined to prove her love and devotion, she had endured the entire day without sustenance. Now, as the night deepened, she began to feel weak and helpless. Just when she thought she couldn't endure any longer, she heard the sound of footsteps outside the house. Could it be her husband? She threw off the covers and went to the door. To her surprise, it was their son, Kasim, carrying the clay cup in his hand. "Kasim, what are you doing here? Why did you come back? Didn't your father tell you to bring me this water?" she asked, her voice filled with concern. "He told me to, mother, but why wouldn't you let me give it to you?" Kasim replied, confused. Realizing that her son had brought her the water, Amina felt a mixture of emotions, love, pride and guilt. She took the cup from Kasim, cupped it to her lips and drank every last drop. The cool water quenched her thirst, and she felt a wave of relief wash over her. She looked at Kasim and said, "My son, you have passed this test with flying colors. Your devotion and selflessness are truly remarkable." Kasim blushed and looked down. He didn't understand why his parents were putting him through these tests, but he was happy to have done his part. As the first rays of sunlight peeked through the windows, Amina went to her husband and told him about Kasim's actions. Abu Yazid couldn't believe his ears. His son had not only brought water to him, but had also ensured that his mother drank it before sunrise. He felt a deep sense of pride and love for his son, overwhelmed with emotion. He rushed to Kasim and embraced him tightly. "You have passed the test, my son," he said, his voice choked with emotion. "I am proud to be your father." As the sun rose higher in the sky, the family gathered together for breakfast. They ate and drank, sharing stories and laughter. From that day forward, Abu Yazid and Amina never doubted their son's love and devotion. They knew that no matter what, Kasim would always be there for them. And as Kasim grew older, he became known throughout the village for his kindness and selflessness. People would often stop him on the street and ask, "How can we become more like you, Kasim? How can we learn to love and help others so selflessly?" Kasim would smile and reply, "It's easy. Just follow the example set by my parents. They taught me the true meaning of love, devotion, and sacrifice. And if you love and respect your parents, you will understand what it means to be selfless." As the years went by, Kasim's reputation for holiness and wisdom spread far beyond their village. People from neighboring towns and cities would come to him seeking guidance and comfort. And Kasim never turned anyone away. He welcomed all who sought him out and offered them the love, kindness, and understanding they needed. Through his actions, he became a living embodiment of the values his parents had instilled in him, and so the legacy of love, devotion, and sacrifice continued on through Kasim, reminding all who knew him of the importance of family, kindness, and helping others. And that's the end of today's story. Do like this video if you enjoyed watching it. Don't forget to share it with your friends and family. We'll meet again in another beautiful tale. Until then, goodbye and take care.